Mica.
Thank you. Mr. Prince, in your testimony earlier, you said, let me quote here, killing Americans, I guess, in Iraq is big media. You said that.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any idea that wounding American contractors in a congressional hearing would be this big a media?
More than I bargained for, sir, yes.
I described, you're here because you're sort of in the chain of command to be attacked next by some folks who want to discredit what you're doing, and I might say that I don't know if there were criminal acts committed, and there will probably be ways in which we can go after folks. One of those would be have the Department of Justice pursue the case. Isn't that would that be the normal procedure?
Yes, sir. We welcome it. We encourage it. We want that accountability. We hold ourselves internally accountable, but if, we put 1,000 guys out in the field, humans make mistakes and they do stupid things sometimes. We try to catch those as much as we can, but if they go over the line...
Well, they criticized you. I guess we could start with the pilots on the NTSB investigation. They should go back and look at the Comair crash in Kentucky with the accounts of the pilots, which was a distraction and led to the crash, according to their findings. I have chaired the aviation subcommittee and followed that very closely, let alone an incident with basically there's no, as Al Gore would put it, there's no controlling authority for airspace in Afghanistan.
There is no FAA in Afghanistan.
And then you were criticized too. You let the pilot, I guess he survived but was not found. Is that it was?
No, there was the two of the DoD personnel in back survived the crash.
Okay, well, two survived, and it states like we have an experienced pilot like Fawcett. He's lost. Have we found him yet?
No, sir.
Okay. But this is in the, terrain?
Terrain very similar to what is in Nevada.
Okay, I just want to try to put things in perspective. There's also some argument that you cost the government too much and that you're getting paid too much, and that maybe this is something that the military should be doing. Could you respond to that?
Yes, sir. I think there's three arguments for or against privatization. There's reliability, there's accountability, and there's cost. Accountability issues can be handled by exercising Mica. Congress expanded Mica at the end of 2004 to any DoD contingency operation, I believe. So anytime a U.S. contractor is abroad, they can be brought up on charges on behalf of the U.S. government. They can be brought up on charges back here in the States. There's reliability. That comes down to, I think, individual vendor reliability. How well does that company execute? Are they complete, correct, and on time? And then there's cost. The American automotive industry, any manufacturer in America has to deal with that cost issue all the time. Whether they should make something, it's that make versus buy argument. I greatly encourage Congress to do some true activity-based cost studies. What do some of these basic government functions really cost? Because I don't believe it's as simple as saying, well, this sergeant costs us this much, because that sergeant doesn't show up there naked and untrained. There's a whole bunch of other costs that go into it. So figure out, if the Army does a job, how many of those people leave the wire every day? What is their tooth-to-tail ratio? How many people are operators versus how many are support people? That all drives into what your total cost is. Now, American industry got pushed by the Japanese car makers and, by foreign competitors, because you've got to focus on cost and being efficient, delivering a good or a product or a service at a better competitive price.
Finally, you were criticized for not detaining someone who committed a criminal act. Now, if an employee commits a criminal act in the United States and you fire him, are you responsible in the United States for detaining him and handling the...
Well, that would be a crime that we committed then, because we're not allowed to detain.
You're not allowed to detain?
No, sir.
Okay. So in that situation, you were criticized for providing someone transport back, was it to the United States?
He was
or wherever.
We acquired
country.
an airline ticket for them back to the States. That's all. By direction of the State Department.
Has expired now. The chair recognizes Mr. Kucinich.